Hey everybody, it is Dan Keldsen from Plexicam.com, and this is an episode of Insights for Pros. My guest today is Fran Brzyski. He is from Hark. He's the CEO and co-founder. You can find out more about them at sendhark.com. They have a solution, a platform. They're just beginning, but they are focused on customer experience, which in this scenario is specifically about the slice of the experience that is around support or service. What if we could provide much more context as a customer, a consumer who bought a product that maybe is missing a part or it's damaged or something like that, but you're not sure, you don't know how to install it, something's gone wrong. Do you text that company? Do you get on the web and use their chatbot, which maybe is a really badly done mechanical sort of AI chatbot, but not really? Do you send in an email? Do you phone in, God forbid, and wait forever to get a rep who may or may not be able to help you and might need to escalate you to yet another queue where you're one of bazillions people waiting for an experience to resolve your issue? What if you can provide your customers the use of their smartphone to just, as Kramer might have said on Seinfeld, just take a video of your issue, show me what it is so I get a bigger context, and that way you don't have to describe using words you may not even have for the problem that you're having. Why should we not be looking for more situations like that where both sides win? It's better for everybody. And hey, we live in the 21st century. Smartphones have been around for 20 years now. We should be using them to make even more things that much better, faster, cheaper, easier, and simpler. We all know how to turn on the camera. It is not hard. Hark is built to make it easy. Really interesting conversation. But let's just jump into it and let you decide. Hey, Fran, it's great to meet you and welcome to Insights for Pros.
Yeah, Dan, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
So it's funny. Normally I'm busy researching and maybe using ChatGPT these days to go do that research. But I found out about you guys because you found out about me and I got an outbound request from your sales team. So cold email still works. That's maybe not quite as intended, but it still works out for me. So Hark is an interesting company that I definitely. You're in the same kind of realm that I would be interested in normally if I was looking for a replacement for like our existing ticketing system, but I wouldn't necessarily stumble onto you. But I think it's a great synergy that we're talking because my life is all about video these days with Plexicam, and that is also the business that you are in a little bit of a twist. So why don't you tell me what is Hark? What does Hark do for your target?
Yeah, happy to. So video comes up a lot. And as you can imagine, the reason we gravitate toward video is because it's the best medium for context. What Hark really is at its core is a contextualization engine. My approach is we've taken this omni-channel approach towards support and tried to meet the customer where they are. I think it is a bit unfair to the customer. They have to figure out what channel is best for me to convey my issue to the support team. And on the back end for the support team, they're taking a lot of different inquiries across different channels, duplicate tickets. They're trying to parse these all up to understand what the problem even is before getting to a solution. So my thesis is context drives efficiency. Let's have these interactions start earlier in the journey with more context in an elegant fashion, 30 seconds or less. We extract everything we need from the customer and we set the agents for success to become champions, right? Like a better employee experience equates to a better customer experience. We all know that. And we want to set up agents to be champions so they can go help, they can provide solutions and really create a better process overall.
Having already experienced, I know what the actual experience is like. So how do we describe what it's like as a customer of a company using your solution to contact you?
Of course. So we took a powered by approach, right? We don't want to get in the way of the brand kit, the brand tone. That's a very personal thing to your brand. So it's a very customizable, almost drag and drop instance to set up these customized workflows. So somebody finds you on the contact us page, they can click a button, it initiates Hark. You feel like you're still in the page of your brand. We can be in the chatbot, we can be in your email, anywhere you have a digital footprint, you can initiate Hark. And what you first get prompted with, depending on your inquiry, is it a video? Is it an audio? Is it a screen recording, right? Depends on what you're reaching out about. We try to change the contextual engine and have you just talk and say, here's what's going on versus what we do a lot today when we talk to chatbots, we know it's a robot. my product is damaged. And then we know we're going to go through a prompt. Just let the customer freeform. You get so much information that way.
So one of the things I'm not the only face of Plexicam from a customer support standpoint anymore, thankfully, but I still like to be in it. So I'm not disconnected from the whole experience, and we have a physical product that you have to assemble and you have to put on your monitor in this case. So you hang it on your monitor, you need to put your camera on it. It's not that complicated, but people need help and maybe something went wrong. Usually my solution now is we can hop on a Zoom if it helps. I'll show you exactly what went wrong. I can give you tips on eye contact and lights and all sorts of fun stuff. And that's great. And I'm happy to do that. But wouldn't it be great if they could just send me a video in an official channel that's built for that? And then me or my reps can see it and resolve the issue. Maybe even perfect world, maybe AI and anything that's in your plan does that before it gets to us and says, oh yeah, you need to put the shelf in this way, not that way. And we're good, which would be fantastic. From the customer's experience, is it always a mobile first approach? What's the best sort of entry point into using your system, or does it really matter at this point?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack in everything that you just went through.
Sorry.
So no, it's great. Yeah, so we want to see your point of view, right? We don't really get selfies of the customers. Sometimes we do because they just want to give feedback, but mostly it's you have your phone and the reason this works so well today is because we do this all the time. Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. We capture a moment that we're in and then we move on with our day, right? So we put it out there on the platform and then we engage with it thereafter. So we're taking a bit of that same approach that, let's take the Zoom thing. I mean, video is not new, but now you don't have to get time out of your day and find a schedule. They don't have to get time out of their day. They're in the moment. It might be midnight, you're sleeping, and now is when they want to get in touch with you. Let's let them do that asynchronously. So
Right.
that's a big part of it. We certainly are actually developing a lot. ChatGPT is a very buzzy thing in customer experience. But if you break
Yeah.
out generative AI and question answer AI, I think there's a lot of use cases there that propel the agents. And the reason why these customers come to you and they're loyal to you is because they have that relationship with you and your agents. And I don't want the robot to get in the way of that, but there's definitely ways to accelerate it. So I think through question answer AI, we can certainly take those mundane, very simple tasks off the agent's plate, give you a smaller core team that are experts in the field and let them handle the more difficult ones. And that's where generative AI comes in, which a lot of companies are looking into this, where you can set up based on your FAQ an answer that the agent could say, but there's nuance to that, right? It's maybe the robot says, great, we'll give you 10% off the next order, but that might not be what the human being wants. They might just want to feel heard and they might want to understand, right? So that's where I think the human approach still definitely has to come in.
It is kind of tricky. There are days when I'm involved and I feel like a ninja, and I just solve some really tricky issue.
Yeah.
That it wasn't necessarily a product issue; it was more of a just misunderstanding sort of issue. And there are other times when I feel like I was a total failure at that. So, but having like a coach or advisor, whatever you want to call it, sort of sitting on your shoulder. I'll use the angel devil sort of idea here. My first computer I got when I was 10, and I'm over 50 now, so that was quite a long time ago. And I was interested in computers because, hey, it could make things easier, like doing math or writing reports or whatever. So why shouldn't it be as easy as possible for the customer to get satisfaction, to get whatever they need, clarity, and for employees? I love that you mentioned employee experience drives better customer experience, which I've been saying for at least 10 years. For a long time, I felt like I was just shouting into the wind, which is not a lot of fun. What was there sort of a moment when you thought this experience that I just had as a customer or something was awful? There's got to be a better way, and that's how you came up with Hark, or what's sort of the backstory of Hark?
I have two kids under 3 at home, and I have another one on the way, so we're quite busy. We order a lot of stuff, as you can imagine, and I'm always the one when something goes wrong that I have to get in touch, right? And I started to really become obsessed with that problem. Like, why is it that every time I have to spend 10 minutes of my day to try to figure this out? Every contact us page is different. Everyone offers different channels to get in touch. They have different hours of operations. What's the best channel that's most efficient for them? I would love to meet them where they are, right? So what the straw was that broke the camel's back, I had bought a faucet for my bathtub. And it was broken. It was damaged when I installed it. I didn't do any. You screw it on. It's not that complicated.
Yeah.
But I got in touch with them, and I was trying to show them that I couldn't upload the video. I was trying to do it over text, and they finally said, "We'll just send you a new one. Like we don't get it," when it wasn't a complicated problem. But then they sent me the wrong one, and then I'm getting back in touch again, and then I'm trying to send them back this one, and they said, so I'm going through this, and this happens a lot, and it's wildly inefficient on both sides. So I
Yeah.
just kept digging, and I feel as though as a society we're at a point where what you just mentioned, we have such a powerful device in our pockets. And when I think of like live chat and forums, I think of the computers from 50 years ago where you're sitting at a desktop and you're typing in the moment. But we're on the go now. Like we can just pull this out and we can give so much context up front. And as a society, we do that all the time. So why not bring this to CX? The crutch there is we have to do it in a way that empowers the agents, right? Like we can't have agents sitting there watching thousands of videos all day and trying to figure all this out. So there is transcription, there's sentiment analysis, there's a lot of AI just in that to set the agents up with a fully contextualized ticket. We call it the perfect ticket, so that they can provide solutions the first time. So
Nice.
that's the backstory to Hark.
Nice. Yeah, I think at least your current tagline, I had it here. Where did I put it? The CX channel your customers and agents will love. The perfect experience for your customer turns into the perfect ticket for your agents. That's a pretty cool brand statement.
We mean it. We did not anticipate agents to love Hark as much as they do, and that's one of the most humbling things when the CX leader sends us screenshots of what they're saying over Slack, or we'll send out like if we're doing like a POC, like a Google Doc of what the agents are saying. It's gotten to the point where one CX leader was like, I had to start routing them more efficiently because people were fighting over the Hark tickets first and leaving the other ones. Like they wanted to work on these. They felt more engaged with the customer. And so I was like, oh, I don't want to cause a problem, but that's an amazing thing to have. So absolutely. I mean, we want to empower the agents to be the best versions of themselves.
Yeah, that's funny. So I'm curious. So customer experience is a term that's been around for a while, and it potentially means a whole lot of different things. So for your audience on your direct customer side, who's sort of the owner of that area, and is it always called a customer experience officer, or what's the role?
It's actually pretty fascinating how much the industry is innovating and moving at such a high clip at this moment. So customer experience, sometimes people think it's synonymous with customer service, but it's not, right? Like there's a whole front end to the customer experience, and they're doing the entire journey. And yes, customer support happens to be a facet of that. We deal with mostly post-purchase customer support. So that will lead up to the head of customer experience. It will lead up to maybe the CLO or the CMO. It's different organization by organization, but whoever's leading the charge on the support team. And you had said something earlier about wanting to get into the tickets and understanding what the customers are saying. And that's a big belief for us too, is that by prompting users early in the journey,
Yeah.
your whole organization becomes 1 degree separated from your customer base, right? You've got all of this context up front, and you're not using pictures or video as a proof point. You're using it as a way to engage. And when the product team's making design decisions with your customers in mind, or the marketing is marketing to the hearts and minds of your customers because they know them innately without ever actually meeting them, it's a very, very powerful thing where the whole organization can run on all cylinders. The voice of the customer is not words on a Google slide that you saw in an email. Like I just don't know how much that really, really helps.
I'm constantly looking for ways for us to get more reviews, for example, which can be a challenge, let's say, especially on Amazon. We've been selling on Amazon now for a couple of months, and we'd already been selling privately direct to consumer for a little over 2 years before we started selling on Amazon. Getting Amazon reviews is such a pain. and you're so limited. Like if you want to talk about forcing people into a channel as a seller on Amazon, you're allowed to talk to your customer once, basically, unless something's gone horrifically bad and they contacted you and now you have to reply to them. So that's a real challenge that definitely needs some work. But on our direct side, we send out automated requests for reviews. We have a product that's a physical product that involves video in the end. So getting photos of people showing their setup, so if I turned the camera on and showed you everything that makes my deal happen, it's kind of complicated. And we have some clients that have they're like day traders, and they have four gigantic screens that take up like an entire city block, it seems. But all those examples really help other clients to realize that they're not alone. Like there's a whole huge variety of situations out there, and they should feel like our solution is good for them. And I agree that it's really handy from we're a small company, so from a product management standpoint, from a customer support standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, the more we can see how our customers are doing whatever it is that they're doing with video is just hugely useful, which is why I keep staying plugged into our customer support system. So obviously you didn't use Hark to get in touch with Price Fister or whoever it was that created your bathtub faucet. What do you see customers or your direct customers doing right now? Is there like a consistent, they're using a certain channel or a certain solution maybe, and then turn to you, or are you the first step in sort of modernizing their support approach?
So when you say our customers, like the brands that use Hark, or you mean the end customers? The brands
Yes.
that use Hark. So
No, the brands that use Hark.
yeah,
Yeah.
earlier when we had launched, we're still a very young company. Organizations, there's things like product issues, troubleshooting, damages. It's a no-brainer. This makes so much sense, and they would use those in those facets, and they would see the mean time to resolve goes down, the number of touches per ticket goes down, the decreased cost per ticket, increased CSAT, like all those good things were happening. So they started to want to branch out further. So we created these dynamic workflows where somebody can click a button. The main call to action on your contact us page is one button. It's not 50 different options. Click the button and you say, I'm reaching out about a damage. Great. We're going to take you through that flow. Oh, I'm reaching out about a warranty claim. Okay. We're going to take you through that flow. And that's been really good. And our customers now, they want to triage everything through Hark. I don't think chat, SMS, email, I don't think that goes away. I just think
Right.
if you can triage through one channel on the front end, you can take in data uniformly. You can do so much more with it. And then you can say, great, Dan's here to provide you a solution. Do you want to chat with him? Is it better for him to text you? Like what? Now that's convenient, right? That you've already gotten off the point that was tough. So, something we're really keen on is in the amount of time you'd wait on hold to get to the right person, you could already be done and move on with your day, and you'd never have to repeat yourself again. It's a very powerful thing.
Yeah, hold times. Like I don't know if there are humans at Amazon to ask anybody anything. For example,
Yeah.
It's really, and they most of the questions that come up with orders through Amazon have nothing to do with Amazon, but they make it impossible to talk to me and my company. It's really quite something. And so just to back up a little bit, so when we talked about who owns customer experience, I think, did you mention CLO as an acronym? Is that, what is that? Or did I mishear that?
Chief Operations Officer. Yep.
Oh, Chief
Chief Operations Officer. So yes.
Okay, I had CLO. I was like, Chief Learning Officer?
No. Who knows? Some of these companies are very innovative. But COO, CMO, CDO, Chief Digital Officer, VP of CX or CXO, whoever it might be.
We talked about employee experience. I totally agree. It's always frustrated me that employees have tended to get usually very terrible systems to use on the back end because the sausage factory is a messy place. Do you see Hark potentially shifting so that it's also used for, I don't know, onboarding of new hires or sort of more of a employee ticketing support service?
I think we have a lot of options in front of us. The unique thing about where we're starting with Hark is we're handling, our customers are coming to us and saying, can you help with our contact us page, right? Like I don't have a lot of dev support. Can you help us? They want a better experience. And how many times have you been to a website where it's a beautiful site and you click contact us and it's like black and white, out of the 90s. So we're trying to enable that entire journey, and we keep adding more and more to empower the agents. And based on our customer feedback, we see where that takes us.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want to force you to reveal what you're planning in your product roadmap, but I'm always, interested in what you might see down the future. As far as customer experience goes, so your solution is asynchronous, right? Versus what we're doing now, which is real time and Zoom that we've all gotten used to, if not exactly love in the last 3 years. Is there anything that you would recommend that people who are considering sort of broadening their perspective on how video plays a role in their business? Is there something that might help tip them over the edge? Like here's the most compelling, most commonly referenced reason to do this, customer CSATs, those sorts of scenarios, or just broadly, what should people be paying attention since things are just moving so quickly right now?
The new generation of consumers are quite interesting, and retailers are evolving and innovating a lot. I don't believe that from a first point of contact perspective. I mean, they already don't want to really call. So to also offer a live video from the start, I think is a little bit invasive to them based on the feedback that we've gotten. Is it gives them a little bit of anxiety. So that's why I believe they love the asynchronous nature of like I can anywhere in my day I can start. The other part about Hark is we send you a tracking link. So as your ticket is moving through the systems, like Domino's Pizza Tracker, you're being updated. So there's that level of trust. You're not jumping from channel to channel and asking the same thing.
Oh yeah,
And the customers really like that. I think where the synchronous nature, though, like as I said, it can come on the back end where if there's something that technical, you could get on there synchronously and maybe just have the customer share their phone. And maybe you're not even talking face to face. They're just showing you their point of view and your screen doesn't even have to be up. It's you always have to take both employee experience and customer experience. And the thing that I hear a lot from agents is they don't really want to be on video either. Like they don't want to be there doing that, right? Like it takes a certain kind of person. Like we're trying to cater to all facets of it and just allow everybody to feel very comfortable, but also provide enough context so that not only does it get handled quickly, but as we talked about, maybe the same problem keeps coming up and we didn't realize how difficult it is when we wrote the instruction manual. Let's flag that, things like that. So anyway, in a long-winded way of saying we're exploring a lot of avenues.
no, I love it. So like the Domino's tracking app, I've been talking about that for years. It's so fascinating. Why in the world aren't more, aside from pizza places, why aren't more places doing that? Because it's so frustrating if you have no, like, we're trying to set up some reseller agreements. I don't know what the status is of my request. It could be lost forever for all I know. There might be a ticket associated with a request, but I don't know if anybody cares. Is there what's going on? That's fast. That's fine.
So then what do? Then you reach back out and then they don't get to that ticket. So now they got two tickets. And now you hear, yeah, it just, we don't realize as consumers, we're adding more pressure to the agents.
Right.
They're trying to work through it. But in a world where we have so much transparency everywhere, we'll be in touch in 24 to 48 hours doesn't cut it as well. Right. So
Right.
yeah, we're looking for new ways to innovate and provide more transparency, which leads to trust.
Yeah, that's wild. Actually, I don't know of any ticketing system that really does provide that sort of visual tracking. It's just we're still working on it or something. But it's not as clean. Like the Domino's thing is so simple, but it's like beautiful to geek out for a second on customer experience.
Yeah,
cool. So sendhark.com is the best place to send people to find out more.
Sendhark.com. You can go look at some of the use cases, see some of the case studies from our customers. You can book a meeting with us right from there if you want to learn more. And we're happy to show you a bunch of different ways and see if there's some way we can help you.
Yeah. And just to wrap up, so I think the idea of not everybody wants to jump straight to video, either on the support side or the customer side. Back in 2014, my business partner and I wrote a book called The Gen Z Effect. And one of the examples that we talked about was the rise of video. So we predicted like where's the future of customer support going. And at the time we talked about there was one, I believe, Kindle model from Amazon that had a built-in camera, and they set up a service. I forget the name of it, but if you had a problem that wasn't your Kindle didn't work at all, you could literally tap an app. It would connect you to an Amazon Kindle rep on the other end over live video, which seems creepy. And not everybody wants to, I spend a lot of time on camera, doing this among other things. I still don't necessarily want to have to get on the camera if I really don't have to. But that's almost 10 years ago is when that first came up. As far as I know, that died that was like one of the really short-lived Amazon experiences or experiments. I think it died after like 6 months, maybe maximum. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting that it's taken that long for the rest of the world to catch up with what you're proposing, which is, there's more to video than just real time, but you can take advantage. Like smartphones are now 20 years old, which is crazy. Why aren't we using more of that? It's so simple. Make it simple. make it stop as quickly as possible, and everybody can go back to doing whatever they would rather be doing than a customer support issue.
Yeah, cell phones can do a lot more than play Snake anymore. I remember the old Nokia's playing Snake. But yeah, look, my real hypothesis is that I believe there'll be a reversion towards simplicity. I believe powering these approaches can become very, very difficult. It's a lot to manage for leaders of CX. They're learning how to use APIs and webhooks to power all this. And I really do think it's unnecessary. I think we've mistaken convenience in a sense on the front end. And I think customers are willing to provide a lot more upfront as long as it's easy and it's simple and it makes sense if it's logical. And that's what we're aiming to do when we build Hark.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I definitely want to stay in touch, see where you go with this, but I love the idea of your entry point and the little glimpses that you gave us about the potential future. And it sounds like, unlike a lot of people that are getting really carried away with artificial intelligence, that you're taking a more measured, focused approach to AI, I would say. So congratulations on that. Keep that focus, because it's so easy to get diverted.
Oh, don't I know it? My co-founder is very good at saying we have to stay focused. We've been part of organizations that have gone way too wide, and it's a recipe for disaster.
There you go. It's also good to have a partner you can trust, because otherwise there's just too much to handle as a single person. So good choice
absolutely.
There too.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. So thanks so much, Fran. So sendhark.com. Find out more if you're interested in what we just talked about, and that there is indeed life beyond just real-time video for your customer experience, if you're providing it for a business, or if you are maybe interested in influencing a business you do business with to step up their game in customer experience. Let them know about Hark. Thanks, Fran.
Thanks for having me, Dan. Appreciate it.
Great.